Check, check. Check, check, check. Do you know, does that mean it's on, David?
Should be, yeah.
That's mute.
That's right. It's
No, it's on. Okay. So I am gonna go. Is she on by chance?
You should be.
Are you ready?
Stephanie, can you hear us? You're on mute. I think the wave means yes.
I see you. Et voila.
There we go.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
All right, you're in. Thank you.
I'm not even in this county.
Check, check, check.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm in Sonoma County.
All
It was a
right.
recall on my car.
There we are. Okay.
Can you still, after all the aftermarket modifications you made? Like the nitro boost?
Oh, all right.
That's not too loud for you. Okay, so this is an open mic. I'm just hoping that we can hear you guys. It's been an ordeal, so
I think
let
it's
me.
good.
Yep, we'll wait on you.
Okay, thank you.
Susan, my name is Stephanie Codling. That is quite a presentation. I wasn't even able to print it all out. But
Oh, 130 pages?
yeah,
Well, that wasn't mine. I was on the last 2 pages.
I got
You got to get
to
all the way to the end.
160. That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wasn't that great? I love it. I think somebody did a marvelous job. You know, they did point out a big problem. our you know, I think it's a big decision people have to make here is what Clearlake is
Is the
gonna.
overhead okay for you guys as far as sound goes?
I just heard you.
Yes.
Check,
Yep.
check, 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 check.
I hear. Yep.
Can you hear me when I talk into this mic?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And this
Can't
is
see you,
David
though.
talking?
No, because I'm not on camera. There I am. Hi.
Hi.
Okay. For you soft talkers, I might need you to use this today. If that's okay.
Okay.
I don't think this is working.
Okay.
I'm not sure why we're not getting it. We had it going through the system. Everything was flawless, and then I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
So I did purchase a Omni microphone. However, it's claiming that this doesn't have phantom power, which we know it's not true. I'm going to go get you a stand for
Okay.
that.
Okay. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi.
Sure, I'm scared to play with it.
How many members are there altogether?
Did you get the spreadsheet I sent over?
What are there? There's 6 of us or 7 of us? I can't remember.
Did I use it for this meeting? The one that I used for the meeting?
Yeah, I didn't see it in the
I
agenda.
didn't add it to the
Oh,
agenda.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. I know you suggested you might do that.
Yeah, and I didn't this time because I was using a new program. As soon as I get the hang of it, I will.
Okay, there's that. And you guys can slide this as you're talking.
That's fine.
It'll be fine. All right, Dad, test 1, 2, 3, test. 1,
Susan,
2,
there
3.
are 5 of us, 5 regular members of the council or the not council.
Marketing.
Marketing. Thank you.
Bye, thank you.
Yeah, the other 2, which I don't think you've met yet, Joyce Overton, Councilwoman Overton, and then Chelsea, who, is Chelsea coming today, Steph?
Yeah, well, as a matter of fact, I just got, can you see me? No, Chelsea, can't not see you.
Oh, she's in there. She's an attendee. I'll promote her if I can. I can.
You can?
No,
Or no?
I can.
Okay. Oopsie. Okay, let me do this.
There we go.
Oh, there she is.
I was like, I can see everyone. It says webinar. I'm like, where's the participation area?
All right, I'm gonna text Joyce real quick and then we'll get started.
Melissa,
Yes,
the thing we talked about today, should I add it to the calendar or wait?
we can verbally add it.
Okay.
I'm gonna give her a minute to respond and then we'll get started.
Yes. One second.
No rush.
I'm trying to get our camera to work. Get home. And then I need to start the meeting in our new meetings module.
Did you guys start yet?
Nope.
Okay. Can you do, because we have no audio on the table,
Okay.
if you don't mind just passing the microphone, speaking into it so we'll get the whole meeting. I'll iron this out next week. I'll have it on the mic.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, Bruno.
Hey. Who's the mysterious person who came in and talked?
I'm new.
Are we not set up over at, I see David's in the chamber.
Oh,
Stephanie's in Sonoma County.
That's the beauty of Zoom.
Yeah, that is. Much as I don't like Zoom, I like it for those reasons. If you can't be at a meeting, you can still be at the meeting.
Are you there for good or did you didn't
No,
run
no,
away,
no.
did you?
No, they recalled my Kia and fortunately it was no
Good,
issue.
Good.
And so I had to come down. I would not commute. Oh, horrible. I had to be there at 8. Horrible.
All right. You ready?
okay.
I have my camera on so they can see my pretty face.
Oh, we can
I'll
see your
rotate it
beautiful
over.
face, yes.
Yeah,
That works.
Works for me.
Yeah.
the new style.
You guys can see me, right?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we have your own.
Beautiful. All right. I guess I will call the Clearlake Marketing Committee meeting to order. And I will kick it off by welcoming Susan to the team. Susan, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, Susan.
Thank you.
I can't hear you, Susan. Did you say something?
I just said thank you.
You
Did
must be
you,
muted.
everybody get to see a little bit of an
Oh, you
introduction about me? At the bottom,
we can't hear
2
you.
pages of that enormously long agenda. So
I did not.
I talked about, I've been in well, I've personally been in Clear Lake, but we own the property since 2008. And my mother-in-law, Barbara Jo Bloomquist, do any of you know her? She was there for 10 years. And then we moved here, and
I think we can.
that house ended up being gone. And now I'm living here for, retirement and the rest of my life. And I just have always really enjoyed Clear Lake and thought that it
Because of that mic
was,
and because
well,
of
the
that,
natural resources
is-
here are just remarkable. But the people and the way that everything is laid out is perhaps not. And, I just think it has a lot of potential.
Mhm.
So I wanted to join, partly because I had just been noticing a lot of things around town that started happening that were smart, they were well done. And I thought, wow, okay. So, I decided to keep that property and live there. And now I'm going to try to invest a little bit of energy into making Clear Lake, it's absurd that it's not a nice place to go. I mean, it's kind of so beautiful. And there's a lot of young people here. And, I'd like to see it get better and better because my kids are, 18 and 20. And, I kind of want them to live up here too and have some kind of attraction for them, work and a thriving community is what I would be after. But that is a long journey.
One step at a time.
Yes, that's what I say. Uh-huh.
And every hand helps for sure. So we're honored to have you on the team, and hopefully, I know you're working on a big project, which we'll talk about later in this meeting, but everyone else has a bunch of balls in the air. And so any support you can give is greatly appreciated.
I'm on number 5, right? And so we go through the agenda 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
Is that correct? Okay.
That is correct. So let's kick off with downtown strategies. I had Melissa add that to the agenda. If you haven't seen that, it was presented in the city council meeting 2 weeks ago. I think there's a lot of tie into what we are doing on the marketing committee. There's a lot of ideas in there that we've also had. And so I just wanted to make sure everyone had a chance to look through that. And if you haven't seen the presentation, at least look through the document.
Yes, I have.
Wonderful. So I believe the next step for the city is Alan's going to contract with some consultants. There's an implementation part of it that he'll be working with the downtown strategies to bring to fruition. I think what our job is to, once they determine how they're going to move in a professional manner, I want to fill in the gaps. I want to make sure that we're leveraging whatever brand and creative that they're putting together. I want to make sure that the items that we've both identified are going to get done. And I think that can actually be, last meeting we talked about goals. I think we can use this as our North Star to some respects. And we're going to have our own great idea.
You're saying the document is the driving North Star?
I think in some areas, yes. I think it doesn't dive too much into the weeds on how to implement these things, which is where we're going to have to use our skill set and our abilities to make that happen. But I think it gives good best practices. It's a well-researched piece that if we're having questions on how to attack a particular subject, we can refer back to that. Any questions or thoughts around that presentation?
I thought the presentation was good. I watched it when it was on the city council or during the city council meeting. I am looking forward to a more concise plan to help the community understand what the plan is. And I see this as being a chapter in a much more larger comprehensive plan, like you guys have your 5-year road plan. The more you have all those plans, the more it becomes a portfolio you can hand over to investors where they can see you've done year 1, year 2. I can expect you to continue and do years 3 through 5. So this is where I'm going to position myself in investing in this community. The more we have those kinds of documents, the easier it is we can sell ourselves to people who really want to come here, but they don't know where to spend their money or how to spend their money. And I think that that's what we really need to look at, is eventually coming up with the comprehensive plan that we can really utilize to market ourselves. We used to try to advertise people to come to Clearlake, but really our advertising really should be invest in Clearlake, help us get better, and then we'll go ahead and put a huge thing for coming to Clearlake in the VIA magazine or something like that. Because I think we need to do some enhancements before we bring people here, or they may or may not, depending on who they are, have the experience that they're looking for. And we want to make sure that they do have the experience that they're looking for.
I have to agree with that. And I think the documents are really important because we need a track record, and step by step, this place is making it for sure. I mean, that I really keep saying, I love the logo. It's modern and old, and you know, I think we're hopeless if we try the antique strategy. So I like the document, and I do think that we have a lot of things to fill in.
Yeah, Chelsea?
Feedback in there.
We're having some technical things. We're sorting it out.
Working on it. Yes. So I just wanted to comment. In the past, we had spoken briefly about how I noticed an Inflex. Susan, if you don't know who I am, I'm Chelsea, the office manager for the Clearlake Chamber of Commerce also. So that's our visitor center. I see quite a few people coming in. We did see an influx of people from San Jose still, and I'm seeing it constantly. There's still at least 3 or 4 people I see every week come in and talk to me, which is really great. My sister lives in San Jose, and she's been doing some investigating to see if she can find out where specifically. I had one person explain to me where it was, but of course, you know, there's so many dominoes down there. So I'm not sure who put that one billboard up or how old it is, but there's still one down there in San Jose saying come up to Lake County or Clear Lake or something of that nature. But no one's taken a picture, and I have not been able to Google it yet. So once we find that information, I think that's still really great. Just seeing those little things still and people noticing the changes already. It's just something little we already had going. That's just from whenever, from wherever. Yeah. So that started, I can't remember which meeting I mentioned that at before. I think it was more towards summer or fall. Can't remember. But it's in our notes. So still works.
People remember this place. I mean, we'll talk about it till, I mean, I lived in California, was born here, and then lived in Colorado and came back, and I talk about it, and a lot of people don't know about Clearlake at all. But quite a lot of people remember. It used to be in the San Francisco paper. All the concerts would be listed up here, and so it would be something in front of them every day or every week, you know, because you would get that concert calendar, and people used to go through newspapers. So it's not possible anymore, but I'm pretty sure that was where I remember hearing other people acknowledge they knew Clearlake from the Bay Area and just other places that I've been.
I have a question. I have a question.
Let's dive in to our agenda items. We sort of have a lot in the air, and what I want to start doing with these meetings is really focus on specific projects and make sure that we're executing and getting them done. Because we do have a lot of great ideas, and I think we can really focus our energy on specific things and knock them out of the park. So the first agenda item is around beautification. We have a few projects that are in the works. I'll go through the ones highlighted, I think, are the ones that I really want to talk about. But let's just get a quick update on fish statues. Bruno, how's that looking?
Well, during public comment, since I'm not officially a member, I will go ahead and I will go ahead and share.
Hang on 1 second, Bruno. Sorry.
Can't hear me? Hello. Hello.
I can still hear you, so maybe it's just the chamber that's having issues.
Okay, go ahead, Bruno.
Yeah, I think you just need to use your own computer. That's probably the best way. Did you break the TV in the chamber? I do have pictures of the fish statues. I was going to share them with you guys during my public comment section. And everything is meant to be finalized for Memorial Day weekend, since that is the weekend of the grand opening of the lake for the season, even though obviously people are in the lake right now as we speak. But typically our season is from Memorial Day to Labor Day. That's our high point. And so I have asked all the artists to finalize all of their fish statues by then. Some of the ones that I'm going to show you, one of them is spectacular as far as I'm concerned. The other one, it's good. The other two, I have not received any pictures of, but one of the last two is being done by Violet Divine, who has done all of the murals for us this past year. And as you know, her work is spectacular, so I don't anticipate anything that will be that will fall flat on our expectations. So I think that everything's going well, and I'll prepare all my pictures so that they're ready for you guys to take a look at.
Because we're getting.
Excellent. Thank you, Bruno. Do you need any support from anyone else, or are you good right now?
I have all the godly support I need. Oh man. Is there any way you could just turn off that TV and just use your computer? Is that possible? Because I really think that city council chamber one is the one ruining it for everybody.
Okay, can you guys hear us?
No, there's something wrong.
With a wonderful
Then I
echo.
can't hear them. That's the problem we're
Yeah,
having.
we
There
have
we
to
go.
be able to
There
hear
we go.
them, so.
Right, so I wonder, can we hang those up,
Hang them up.
these?
Oh, the strange guy is Alan.
Because they're hearing you through the computers, right?
Well,
No, we have to turn our sound off completely.
Oh, okay, okay, so do this then. Get this as far with that microphone as possible. There we go, now try. And then when you just, yeah.
all right. Can everyone hear me?
We can hear
Thumbs
you.
up? Okay, everyone, Stephanie, say aye. Yeah, we couldn't hear her. She said
Hello?
something.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay, we heard Chelsea. Susan, say something? No, we can't hear Susan. either.
Susan's muted. Susan's muted, so she can't. You wouldn't hear her.
That's a different problem.
There's no feedback from the chamber now, though, so that's good.
Hello?
Okay, good.
There we go.
Yeah.
And then Susan, say something.
Hello?
Aye. There we go. All
Speaking
right.
now. Hello?
I think we can hear you now. All right, I think Thomas saved us.
So if one of these need to talk, then we push those mics away and bring that mic in, and I'll work this
Okay.
mic thing out before the next meeting.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Okay, let's hop into storefront art, and this is a project that Chelsea presented to us earlier in the year. I'd love to get a project update on that and where you need help.
Yeah, so currently I still need to figure out how to find the list of the available storefronts. So I still need to find some more information on that. So I will be in contact more with you on that, David. And then for the art council, I'm not sure if we just wanted to contact the properties first and then contact the art council and see if they're interested, or how did you all want to approach this?
So I think last time we talked, getting that list and knowing who the contacts were the first step before we even thought about style and art.
Exactly. Yes, I remember Dirk and I were going to work on that, but that was right before he became mayor, and he's got his, he's very hands full at the moment. So he's got quite a few projects. So if anyone knows of any ways to get any of those listings or business listings, that'd be wonderful. I'm going to keep attempting to look around too. I've tried talking to David across from me at Realty World, but he was also unsure. He said to talk to the city. So,
Chelsea, I can get it from the city. The city provided a list of homeowners at one point, or business owners at one point. So I think that that's who you need to get it from, the city, because the city charges the
right. And that's why Dirk was going to try to look into it originally for me, but I think I'll just go ahead and contact Jan Bresk at Code Enforcement. I talk to her almost every day already. So I'll just go ahead and send her an email and see if she can help with that.
Yeah, that's a
Tina has a suggestion. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Chelsea. If
Oh,
you
yes.
call me, if you give me addresses, I can give you the owner's information. I don't have phone
Perfect.
numbers, but I can give the information.
Okay, perfect. I'll contact you, Tina.
Awesome. All right. So if you guys can connect this next week, by the end of next week,
Yeah.
and then Chelsea, you and I can get together with Christina. I know Christina was interested in this project as well, and we can talk about next
Yes.
steps then.
Perfect. So I'll email you as soon as I get the information flowing with Tina.
Excellent. All right. And then there's a few other projects on beautification that we haven't made much progress on. A 2021 mural, which I just put on here as a placeholder because Bruno's been cranking one of those out a year. If you have an idea for a 2021 one, we should discuss that at some point. Light pole banners, this is something that Bruno, myself, and Ms. Cepeda were chatting about. We're probably 90% done on this. Bruno, I'm going to reach out to you and we'll talk about art for the banners. But
Yeah, whatever money you need, I
we
got
should
you.
have a period before the senior banners go up, and then we should have them up year round.
Yeah.
We just need to work out a workflow for that.
And like I said,
And that's
whatever.
on me. But I'll turn to you and we can chat about art style and what we want to go up there in the interim.
Can you hear me?
We talked about downtown strategies.
Maybe not.
Poetry boxes is something that's the poet laureate of Lake County had mentioned, and that could factor into the storefront project. But I'm just putting it as its own project for now. Right now, that's to be determined on what the next step there is. And then the Clearlake Biodiversity project, we have that on the agenda for later. Any other beautification projects that we want to consider moving forward?
It's sort of not beautification, but we talked about it and we agreed to it. And Bruno and I were supposed to look at a place near Austin, on Austin Beach or near Austin Beach for a photo op. And it was supposed to be like a big picture frame so that visitors could come and I don't know where we are on that because he and I never connected to actually go and look and kind of determine where that could be.
You know?
Can you hear me, David? Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you. Can you
I
hear
can
me?
hear you.
David doesn't look like you can hear me.
And now,
Your technology is doing wonders. Just wanted to, I've spoken with, can you hear me, David? No. Well, everyone else. I spoke with Alan about that project.
Oh, jeez.
Hold on, we almost have it done. Oh, no, I'm muted. Oh, there we go. All right, go ahead, Bruno.
I will speak slowly so I don't echo. I have spoken with Alan about that project. We went out on the beach and took a look. I saw the architectural drawings for the boardwalk that the city is currently trying to get grant funding for. And he wants to wait until the funding for the boardwalk has arrived so we can figure out exactly what the height will be for the picture frame, because we need to see the boardwalk. And then are people going to sit on the edge? Are people going to stand on the edge? And that's going to really make a difference on where that picture frame needs to be. We need to build it according to what that boardwalk will have its best use for.
Okay, great.
But again, that's about $3,600 for the metal, and the labor will be free from Widener's Welding.
Was there an oak planting project? I heard that somewhere. In the
Not that
country.
not that I'm aware of.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong.
So with beautification, how far does that extend? How like just the parks, city-owned property?
Your imagination.
Imagination, like there's a lot of empty lots. There's a lot of, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever
Whatever is a project you want to take on and you think is feasible to do, then I would say bring the project and present it to us. That way we could see how we can all help you.
Okay. Yeah, so my angle definitely, can I speak now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Is definitely a holistic regeneration of the entire city, and using very simple technologies to, you know, just isolate. You look at the river and how you could make it flow better so that it greens the world better. You make the soil better so that it draws down carbon. And while you do this holistic improvement of the land, there's just an energy upgrade that happens in the whole area. And already there is a rather impressive amount of animals and wildlife here, biodiversity. And so, to my mind, when you run into the end of that 130-page document, it's actually 128, it starts going around with, so what's Clearlake going to be? So what's its, no, you know, Austin is the city of music. You know what I mean? They give you all these great examples, but nobody really has the, you know, like I was saying in the beginning, you could do antique, but Lakeport does antique and they're better. We're just not going to do it. It's not going to work, I don't think, because this town has such a mountain of negativity around the earlier perceptions of it, in my opinion, that it would be really important to come up with a buy-in plan. Remember the big buy-in part of that whole marketing thing? It's like, so yeah, you want to come up with this is what we are. Well, people have to buy into that. And that's a huge issue. So what I'm going to propose, and you know, here's first buy-ins. If you guys like it, there you go. So what I would like to propose first for Clear Lake's kind of a theme, which would include the fish. That would fit in perfectly, is at the beginning of this year, there was a meeting that the Secretary of Natural Resources, Wade Crowfoot, he had all the people under his departments, which was a vast number of people, vast resources, to address these new priorities. And one of those priorities, which is really interesting and cool, is biodiversity. In California, the state of California, there is more biodiversity. It's one of the big spots in the world. So that's something we certainly have here in Clear Lake, and in the lake, on the lake itself. It covers water and land and the marsh, which is all areas like this. I see Clear Lake as the area from the tip of that peninsula down to the Anderson Marsh. There's a lot that's like a section of this lake. And if you were a helicopter, you would say, okay, that's a section. There's going to be stuff there, and we got to know what's going on. That's how California is going to look at it. They're just going to be looking from the sky. They're going to say, we got to know what's happening there, because that's the bottom of a lake, and it's got to have a pretty exciting biodiversity angle. So what I was thinking we could do is have biodiversity games. I mean, the businesses could put on their windows the particular bird, animal, or plant that they think is cool. So, you know, maybe you like a certain kind of frog, or maybe you like a certain kind of bird. And, you know, they could maybe have a some kind of program around that in each of their little stores. That keeps each person, who's all very diverse people, to have their own control over what they do with this project in the business angle. You know, are you going to paint it? Are you going to have a sale? Are you going to have, you know, some kind of thing? So in order to make this work, probably 2 or 3, possibly more people need to do a small amount of training to enter information into a database that is already in existence now.
Well, Susan, can you?
Yes?
Sorry. So just to be clear, just to be clear, so when we're talking about biodiversity and collection, there's a bigger program in place, right? I think we kind of glossed over that.
That's what I'm trying to say, is in the beginning with this meeting at the beginning of this year. So at this time, the state of California is gathering information on biodiversity in the entire state. It is absolutely a priority. There's a whole bunch of people running around. They're actually sending up the little helicopters, you know, the little drones looking for stuff. And Clearlake, they have requested that all people who are interested should join this search. And anyone, local government, local NGOs, they're all invited to join. And so that makes a big umbrella. We have NGOs here. We have the Audubon Society. There are other people who are interested. I think there was another one, the Lake County Land Trust. So both of those societies are NGOs and could be involved in this situation. I don't know who the native people are here. I don't know any Pomo Indians. But I'd like to bring them in on the project as well. I'd like to certify one person from each of these groups who's actually interested in the science. But so that's the connection with California and the possibility of getting grant money. But then we take that down to our little local scene and we say, cool, we're Clearlake, we've got lots of cool stuff, and basically just play with that. I mean, there'll be a few scientists running around doing the real data collection and we can coordinate with them, but that doesn't at all have to be the whole game. Really, the game is, ooh, look at this cool fish, and ooh, look at that. You know, I really like frogs, and I'm going to put that in my window, and we're going to find as many frogs as we can, and then legitimately enter it into the database. So let's say we do talk to the tribal people. They clearly understand the animals and plants around here, and somebody there should be on this database. And we have people who can train us. That we've contacted them already, and so I will start by following up on getting training for the database, because even if we have one, we can, you know, we can sing this song, you know. So who likes the song Biodiversity? Is there buy-in here?
So I'm interested. So we had a conversation about this. It sounds like it's a really interesting activity in data collection, and it's a way to tie in different community groups and different aspects of the community for a larger purpose. I think what we need to support you on this is really clear asks, like how can we help you? What are 2 or 3 things that we could do in the next month to get you in a position to succeed?
Okay, well, the first thing that has to happen is myself, and if we can get others to buy into doing this training. So does anybody know the Pomo? Someone in the Pomo Indian tribes that might want to be interested in this, and if they could get them to contact me. I will attempt to be contacting the, well, I have to go back to the city now if people are interested in this, if this is an approved project, I will go back to the state, who I contacted earlier, and he gave me 3 levels of interaction, and level 1 and level 2 are fine. Level 3 is kind of ridiculous, but I'll proceed with the training, getting the training and getting the people in the state hooked up with us. So that connection needs to happen. But then to, you know, just to sing this song, if you know, the things you wanted to do with the storefronts would be the very first thing I would do to the business owners. I'd send a flyer to business owners and say, look, we kind of want to do this. Do you think you would like to participate in a, you know, in the showing this as our thing by having it in your store and having it in the next guy's store. And then, you know, anything we do after that, you got to build on this. You got to start with the basic, which is the connection and the people who can enter data. And then you start reaching out to the local NGOs and the local businesses. That would be my first step in a very much larger, long-term, you know, play with this kind of idea.
Okay.
Events could be around it too. The other one is that if there's going to be fishing events this summer, that it should be advertised with the fishing event, because that's the only thing that's going to cut it different than everybody else. So let's say they caught that weird looking bass, right? What the heck is that? It's not a bass. Don't throw it back. Take a picture of it, bring it back to us. Let us see what it is. That would really also jazz up our fishing events. And it's very simple. You just add it to the general flyer.
Susan, if I'm
Sorry to cut in. Sorry to cut in. This is actually a later agenda item. So let's say that was the preview, the very long preview.
Yes.
We'll get back to that in 2 minutes. Sorry, I was getting death eyes from Melissa, so I knew that But this sounds. Let's talk about very tangible next steps in a few minutes. I just want to get through the rest of the agenda, and then we'll get to your agenda item there. All right. So next is, I believe, events. And I'll introduce Tina.
I'm overflowing with joy right now. So what we have as tangible event items on the calendar, as most of you know, is right now we have fishing, and more fishing, which is good. Then we had a conversation today about potentially a 4th of July. So I was going to start working on that and helping the others that normally take on that project for 4th of July move forward.
Tina,
yeah.
You might explain to Chelsea and to Susan what 4th of July usually looks like.
Okay, 4th of July normally looks like a parade in the morning, which is usually put on by the Lakeshore Lions. And then there's usually vendor event, and then we block off Lakeshore. There's usually vendors for most of the afternoon, and then we open up the road on Lakeshore before the fireworks happen, and then fireworks are at dark, which is right around 9 o'clock.
And don't forget the worm races.
Oh yeah, the worm races. Yeah, there's usually the worm races. So I'm going to reach out to the Lions Club to see if they want to, start the application process for that, and then they can advertise. They usually gather the vendors and things like that for it.
It's a Lakeshore Lions event.
Yes. And then, so then, fast forward to September, we're going to have a derby.
Yeah.
we're gonna have another soapbox derby,
When are you thinking about doing that?
Labor Day weekend. I was gonna call you later.
No, it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are we allowed to add a comment?
Yeah, go for it.
That's fine.
Also, the city, I was at the Rotary Club meeting yesterday, and Dirk mentioned that the fishing permit fees have been waived, which is great. If Susan, if you haven't heard, Orville and Berryessa are having quite a few issues with fishing, especially Berryessa with their fire last year. Orville just is starting to reopen again very slowly, but everyone has graciously moved to our wonderful lake for their fishing tournaments. So our city has been gracious enough to waive the permit fees for them. So thank you.
And then in addition to those events, I'm
So
planning
Soapbox
to,
Derby, Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
Do you need any support at this time for that?
Probably. We just got out of the meeting like 45 minutes
So
ago.
we'll chat about that next month.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hey, David.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bruno was trying to say something, and I think you have issues hearing his mic sometimes.
What issues?
Like,
Hearing Bruno?
Can you mute that?
can you hear him?
Oh,
Bruno, are you there?
yeah, I'm right here.
David, can you hear him?
Was that
Did
a
you hear
yes
him
from
talk?
Tina? Okay. I just wanted to let you know that I'm planning to do Power to the Youth again this year. Hoping for a late August date. I don't have it set exactly right now, but I need to start putting it together. Been not happening last year with all the COVID-19, but I think that in August, I have to hope that based on what the curves looked like last year for the pandemic, that it was pretty low during the summertime. And so that this year, even with the dropping, I think it should be even lower than it was. So, because let's be real, COVID's not going anywhere. It's still going to be hanging around, just a whole lot less of a significant impact like it was last year. So I think that doing a youth event where people are going to be really interacting in close quarters I think it's going to be fine to do that in August. So I'm going to start setting that up and still having that conversation with Lakeshore Lions about doing our first celebration of New Year's with fireworks.
Yay. Real quick, Bruno, Russ did bring up this event connecting the Lake County Chamber and the Clearlake Chamber. So I'm super excited to be working with you on this project. I cannot wait for this. So I think adding it with the marketing committee and us really talking about it and making sure it's an overall lake project all together. And then just making sure, you know, of course, Clearlake is just doing a little bit more in our little sector, but of course we are going to be working all together. It's very important. So thank you very much.
Sounds good. And then, Tina, since you went on every month and you went all the way to September, is the city still willing to sponsor Trunk or Treat this year? I'm sorry, did you say yes? I think I heard a yes.
I said yes, but I was looking for
I have no idea.
Because I think we should do that again.
Also, an update for the Chamber Easter event. We probably will not be doing an Easter egg contest, even though, you know, we just went into the red just because it's last minute. But I am going to do the color contest still. So I will send out some more information to the city and to David, everyone more individually. It's just like we spoke before. I discussed it with Grocery Outlet and Foods already about getting some gift baskets, and then I'll just get it's just ink and paper that the chamber is graciously able to donate. And if I need extra Big O tires and Enterprise Tow, of course, that they're also available. So I will let you know if I need any help, and I will give you all the information. But it's just a nice little fun, simple. I shouldn't say simple. It's still going to be fun, and nothing's ever simple for us, but it'll be great for the kids and give them something to look forward to at the end of this year. School year. I shouldn't say this year altogether, but them going to school for a second saying, here, look, I did it too. And let's go turn it in. And now that we're in the red. So I was like, yay, this will assist us, but that's it. So it's not an event. It'll just be a coloring contest.
And according to Tina, trunk or treats to go if Alan signs off on it. Is that?
I can be persuasive.
It's okay. Alan likes candy, so I'm sure it's a go.
Okay. The other two things that I highlighted, raising of the flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's May 19th at 10 a.m. and I'm still working out the details.
You need help on that?
A
Probably.
Wednesday.
I need to speak with Alan on a couple of things and then I'll probably reach out.
Let's make that a main agenda item for
Okay.
the April meeting.
Okay.
And hope you
Can't make it that day.
Okay, so I think I captured most of that. I'll go back and look through the meeting when it's online to make sure I did. Any other events that we want to add? I know we've added Power to the Youth in the coloring event.
I just have a question. Did anybody check? It seems to me that one of the churches did Easter egg hunt, and I want to say it was at Austin, but it was through a church. Did anybody check that out?
Usually it's Assembly of God, I
have not
think.
heard back. Usually Don Nichols will reach out to me and start the application process like a month ago, and I have not heard anything, but if I can find his phone number, I can gladly reach out to him.
Great.
Yes, Steph, I had reached out to Tina about this. I apologize. I forgot to send you a text on it. So she was just seeing if he would reach out. But we had looked into it. So we'll see.
They start months. Yeah.
Susan, go ahead.
Can I say something?
Yep.
So with some of these events, like even the one with if we like this biodiversity thing, time is of the essence. And information getting out would be important. Like if you do have those events all, going to be advertised this summer for the fishing and, any way we can start to get people, they can't buy in if they don't have an idea that it's happening. And there's 4 stages and information is only going to be, maybe a year or 2. So it's really important that we have time, we start getting the word out.
I have a question, Susan.
Yeah.
Chelsea, with the chamber. So I love the idea of it too. But I definitely think with how I've had to send stuff out to our community also, we have to simplify it down for some of them so they can understand it more on the flyer. So if you have a way of like setting up a flyer for us with the marketing committee next time, and then we can approve it in our group, and then it'll be a way for like, David's got his downtown page. I have the Clearlake page. Steph is connected with the Rotary. So once you have something laid out for us more at the meeting, like David was saying, the preview is amazing. But if you bring like an actual flyer to us, then we could actually be like, it's right here. I'm here at the meeting. And then we could all send it after.
That sounds great. I like that.
I've noticed that helping us in the past. And just thought I'd speak on the committee if anyone else has any more ideas. But I know that worked for me in the past and they told me to do it and it went so much faster for the Christmas parade. So then we had to cancel it last minute because we went into the purple literally the week of the parade. But besides that, that's what worked. And if you need help with that too, I know David is really great, or so is Bruno. They have really great ways of laying out designs. And other people too, if I missed anyone else, I've just worked with those two.
Sure.
All right, so let's move past events. It looks like we have a lot of good things in motion, and I'll follow up with some folks, but keep pushing. This is great. And then content, we really don't have much going on here. The only thing that I wanted to bring up was, let me change the page, is that I was going to do a refresh of downtown Clearlake. And right now, it is essentially an event listing. I guess what I'm asking from the committee is, do we want, do we have suggestions on what I could do, what I could add to this to make it more useful? So basically, around Christmas time, because events were all kind of jacked up last year, I reverted to this where it was just a simple list with links to Facebook pages and websites. The year prior, I was creating individual pages for all our key events, and I'll probably still do that for the Soapbox Derby and maybe for the raising of the flag, unless you guys have a great page for that. But I wanted to open it up and see if we could add more to this. That would be useful. Now's the time to do it, because I'm hoping to redesign this month.
I'll go ahead and just take a look at it and give you some feedback.
And do you want to put in some of this biodiversity excitement?
So think of this site. How do we want this site to function as a way to promote different events within our city? And the biodiversity piece could be, I guess right now it's just a list of events.
Mhm.
Do we want to integrate a blog with content? Do we want to integrate video?
Pictures. A lot of pretty
More-
pictures of animals that we were looking for example. Like, let's say, we just start looking around and talking to people and saying, what have we been seeing here? What's unusual? And we can start to just, get the scientific pictures and put them up and say, have you seen me? That kind of thing. It'd be really fun, actually. And then if you have, report to so-and-so, or, send a picture to a certain place. I have to find out what is authentic data. So when I get that, we can put that right on the website, and then they can just, we're looking for this guy. Have you seen him? Upload your picture, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, David,
Yep.
do you also have like any current articles like that the city puts out on there? I apologize, I haven't currently looked through it because I know you said you just
Yeah.
have the upcoming events right now.
Yeah, so I did have a blog set up last year.
Right.
I wasn't populating it enough, so
Right.
I just retired it and I hit it.
Right, and I'm not even sure if you necessarily need a blog, but even if you just put up just the post, I guess it's sort of like a blog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like the functional. What you're saying is, do we want to
Exactly.
use it as a way to repost press releases and different articles? Do we want
Right.
to just hyperlink to those articles and have an RSS feed?
Or what about, because I know the city of Clearlake has their website also, but I do hear quite a few people say they still have issues navigating certain areas. So I feel like with this website, for just like the downtown Clearlake one, this may be more of like a marketing draw, like you said, just like for our events, or any changes that happen to anything, any red ribbon cuttings or any new openings. So just anything marketing wise, like we've been talking about, of course, because we're marketing committee, or even like the hospital, and how they've been doing, or have you seen how their update has been going? Or even if you just show like a new picture of it changing a little bit, I think it might be nice for some of the people just to see the changes in another, downtown Clearlake altogether.
Now, Chelsea,
Animals.
you're already publishing a
animals.
lot of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure. You're already
Exactly. So I
publishing.
didn't know if it would be too much.
No. What I'm saying is you're already publishing a lot of that. Is
Right.
there a way we can create a feed from the chamber to go onto this website? So are you just doing it through email marketing, or are you posting it on your website as well?
I usually just do it through email marketing, but I should start posting them on our or on our website too, because I just thought about it for yours. So I don't know why I think about it for ours, but I think it would be.
Yeah.
So I should do it too, and
I don't have the content. But
and let me. Do you work on your website? Like, is the site your own, or do you work with Michael McCowan?
No, this is our website. This is our platform to do whatever we want with. So we have the ability to do that.
So we work from the Clearlake Chamber of Commerce and the Rotary Club also. We work with Michael McEwen, who owns Wine Country Web Services. I believe that's his full. I know it's Wine Country Web Services. So I could talk to him also, and there may be a loop way for me to just do, so it's a link on mine and then you can add it. So when people click on it, it would go to my site, or vice versa. We could do it with your site. And if people click on mine, they can go to yours. So you and I will talk about that.
Yeah, so what I would need from you guys is, as you're setting that up with Michael, I need an RSS feed for a certain category, because you're going to be dealing with things that may not pertain specifically to Clearlake marketing. But if you can categorize it or tag it in a way that it will also populate this site, that would be huge. And
exactly,
you know,
I might be able to weave them out. So I will speak with Michael, and I will tag you on anything he and I talk with.
Beautiful.
Because the one thing that I will say to both of you is you want to make it very user friendly for the visitor and the resident. Say, what's happening in Clearlake this weekend? And they don't know where to go. So that's one thing. You need to make it clear and easy for them to see all the great things that are happening or not happening.
Because I love the Lake County website also, but for the Lake County one, sometimes it can be hard for people to navigate. Even when I have the Lake County kiosk, which is through the county, which the Clearlake Chamber is the only location that has one. I'm not sure how that happened. So that one even has issues, and it's their website. So I think just in general, we all just need to work on it and make it more user friendly, just like Steph says. So we've been working on ours, and I think it looks great, even just having the upcoming events just right there in the opening. Perfect size too.
Yeah, and that was what I reverted it to, because I did feel like it was getting a little cumbersome with creating individual events or individual pages for each event. And this was a streamlined approach, but it was also kind of the stopgap approach. So we can do this, but we can do it better. And then if we can figure out the RSS feed, I think that would be a good step forward, at least for this year.
And maybe for like the events, if there's ways for you to sign up for the Great Holiday Light Fight in the future, you can make it possible that you have the link and they click on it and it would go directly to the DocuSign, and then we get it right away. So just be another user-friendly way for you to just click on it, sign up, and it's done.
Yeah, and that's the power of having our own platform for the marketing committee. Is for the Light Fight, for example, you know, and for the Soapbox Derby, we didn't have to create a brand new site, right? We can just create a registration page here with our event details, and
it's perfect.
I thought this was pretty successful. We have forums and all that. I just want to. The Light Fight was great because we drew a lot of eyeballs to this, and we got a lot of follows and a lot of contact information. So now that we're starting up events again, I think this can be a resource for us. I just want to make sure you guys are all aware of the challenges in populating content and figure out the best way to use it.
And I just wanted to add one more part. David graciously did one for the Christmas parade. So everyone was able to sign up that way instead of, and it was just so much easier. I got all of the emails with all the information in there already. So not only did I print out what they'd given me, I also was able to handwrite into it for myself, for my personal record. So I think it's just amazing how it's all populated. It's perfect. I mean, perfectly working on changing and working.
Yeah. And when we talk about events like the 4th of July as well, I'd love, like let's create a page for that, because the Lions don't do it, right? So, you know, if you have to connect them with me or vice versa, we just want good information to get out there.
Well, plus our 4th of July is like our biggest event. So if you make an actual page for that one, it's showing like the other ones are, yes, very important events, and they're just like subcategories, but this is like, boom, our big, like in your face, this is Clearlake.
Yep. Any recurring events I'd like to have a standing page for. Things like, you know, random theater company events, I'll just link to Facebook pages. But
agreed.
Yeah, all right. So yeah, let's you and I talk with Michael and figure out how to get an RSS feed going. And if we can get that up, then we can talk about other content things down the road.
Perfect.
And I'll prepare some content, some flyers and content that might be interesting and inform people around the biodiversity project. And then present them next meeting.
All right, so yep, moving on to that item again after the preview. That sounds like good next steps for this, and then we can help.
Who
And
can
if
she
I-
send them to? Is it Melissa or Tina? Like if you finish the flyers, I
First.
forget. I think it's Melissa.
Sure.
I
So
just know you
can-
already do the agenda for us. So I
Yeah,
thought it might be
so-
helpful.
So I'll give, so who do I let's say I got my flyer. Who should I send it to? David or Melissa? Or both?
So send it to Melissa. We will discuss it in the next marketing meeting. And you and I will probably talk in the meantime and just talk about really tangible next steps so that we can leverage all the different skills in this group and figure out the way forward. But the flyer sounds like a really good start to consumerize what you're trying to accomplish with
Can't wait
this.
to see it. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
that's the idea. Consumerize this study. Let's make it cool and, let's-
Lots of color.
I love it.
All right.
Exactly the word.
So it sounds like we have a way forward with that. I've captured all the information on beautification events and content. Let's go. Does any member have report?
Want to say one more little thing? Can I?
Yep.
The way you did that, I just want to approve thoroughly that what I just saw, the way you were presenting those pages, the way that is all set up where you sign in, that just looks really clean. That looks really accessible and super good information. So I just wanted to, make sure that I just wanted to put that in because you guys have done good work. Really good.
Thank you, Susan. And that's a platform that we can all use on the marketing committee. So as you're developing your project, if you feel like you can use a web page and forums and things like that, please go through that website and steal ideas.
Thank you.
All
Yeah,
right,
it's so organized. It sends not only an email to the person who needs to receive it, but the person who fills it out. So it's great. No mess ups.
All right, Bruno, go ahead.
Yeah, can you guys let me share my screen? No, what's going on?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can't share my screen. Can you
Says
guys
only
let
the
me
host
share
can
my
share.
screen? You didn't trust me to let me do that? There
I
we
think
go.
David. Oh yeah.
That's cool.
So that's one of the fish.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So
So
basically,
Susan, Bruno's been doing this project even before I started a year ago. So I don't think she's heard a little quick rundown about them, or did she hear it last meeting? I wasn't at the last one. I apologize.
no, this is Susan's first meeting. So this is all tree wood from the Valley Fire. They were all cut down because they were burned. All of these were repurposed to be sculpted into a bass fish jumping out of the water. We have 3 wooden forms, and each of those forms were given to an artist to add some design to the fish form. This one, obviously, you see like a metal plate armor of scales that were cut out individually. We have a young lady named, I don't even know if she's young, she is a lady. This lady named Violet Divine, who is using local rocks to do designs over the fish. And she showed us some ideas of what that would look like before, but I have not seen it at all. But her art is spectacular, so I don't expect anything less than that. The 4th fish I have not seen at all, and have not heard what the design looks like, so that will be a complete surprise. I can't go where I want to go.
You look great.
Hold on.
Bruno, while you're looking.
There we go. So there's just a different angle. And then the next one is my favorite. It's Diego Harris, who made an entirely metal fish, and it looks amazing.
That
So
is cool.
it's not done. As you can see, the head was not done, and I believe the head is right here.
Oh, nice.
And so that whole
Bruno.
sculpture is about 7 or 8 feet tall.
Are you going to use all of them or just you picking one?
All of them.
Oh, good. Only
I've,
one.
I've already bought all 4.
Good.
I have a question about those. They are absolutely spectacular. And it's a point of curiosity, given that I just read that the gazebo was trashed. Is there some way that we're going to be able to protect this investment? Because they're gorgeous, and sadly, you know what could happen to them if they're not protected.
You know what? I'm not worried about it. We've made murals. None of our murals have ever been trashed. I think that what you should look at is whatever was put in the skate park was not the appropriate thing to put in a skate park. A skate park requires a dugout, not a gazebo. It needs to be ready to get beat up. It needs to be ready to have some very rough housing type of kids hanging around.
Okay.
And I think,
If they find wood to rail on, they will do it. So it's,
Yeah.
you know, it's still a rail, as harsh as that is to say.
and so
I was being concerned. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I got the same kind of response when I did my first mural here in Clearlake, that give it a week. It's been over a year, never had a single mark on it. And I think people are respectful of the things that are appropriately placed. And I think that in the long run, we're going to find out that shed on the skate park is maybe not the appropriate shed to have there. We should look at a different shelter. So we could always do some sort of protective coating. That's what I've done over the murals, so that if there is a tag, it's easy to wipe it off rather than having to repaint over it. But this is all metal. There is no paint. It's entirely made of metal. So I'm looking forward to it. Again, we have one will go in Highlands Park, one will go in Redbud Park, one will go in Austin Park, and the other one will go across the street on Austin Beach. Where each one goes is still up for grabs, and the specific locations, even though Alan and I talked about it quite a bit, it's not complete. But that's it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruno. Any other reports from committee members?
Actually, do you mind if
All right.
can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, sorry, Bruno. Go ahead, Bruno.
So I do want to share a project that I'm working on. It's an intense project. I'm going to go through the county only. I'm not going to ask the marketing committee to necessarily provide any funding or anything. I know David knows what I'm talking about when I say augmented reality. I don't know if everyone else knows what augmented reality is. Basically, it's a digitized world on top of the real world, not virtual reality where it's entirely digital, but it's an enhancement of what you see. So if you use your phone, you can see through your video camera the same world your naked eye would be seeing. But in augmented reality, you would see things that don't exist in real life, but exist digitally in the world that we still wander around. So I'm working, I'm finding and having conversations with industries that are involved in creating augmented reality. My goal is at Anderson Marsh State Park is to bring history to life, where you could walk around Anderson Marsh State Park with your camera, or we'll buy Google lenses so that if you walk around with a docent, you can walk around with the right technology, where you can see the day in the life of Native Americans 10,000 years ago and see them wandering around their village, picking up acorns, fishing. My goal is to make a destination attraction that no one else in the world has, because even the companies I'm talking to have never done a project like that. They've done museum projects and augmented reality, but they've never done one outdoors and created the living lifescape that I'm looking to create. And so the cost is actually not prohibitive. It's $900 a day for their services. So that's $18,000 a month. And so I think my project would probably take them anywhere between 6 months to a year to do. And I have the money over at the county. I can ask the county for the money. And because it's not specifically in Clearlake, but connected, because Anderson Marsh is right in our backyard, that's my first project that I want to work on. And it'll be one out of many future projects if it's actually a success.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
I would really like to tie into that, events in the future. I, this year, collected a bunch of acorns and processed them. And I can tell you that is good food. And the truth of the matter is, you know, there's things like community gardens and all that, but Clear Lake has a very good food source and nobody has any idea how to collect it and make food out of it. And it's free and it drops on their head every single year. So having the, and that they were talking about that in the marketing proposal, the one that we have for this agenda. And it said, you know, what is Clear Lake's historical ties? And the concept of the oak tree, the acorn, and making food for free is an absolutely easily buy-inable concept for many people in Clear Lake because food's a big deal.
And just to let you know, there's some folks in our local tribes that are working with environmental health to approve acorns as an official food item in the county, so that now our restaurants would be able to produce those types of things.
I think it would be better if there was an actual business who did it. Like there's one center place that you would bring your acorns, or that, you know, there could be some kind of a hub around it because it is a rather unique way of processing, and there's a lot to learn around it. But it can be learned and it should be learned, and it could be done in events and tied into your augmented reality. So you have, you know, you want to use your future and grab from the past, but make sure that we're really firmly in the future, because that's where the kids are. And we want to say, look, this is what they did, but this is what we can do. And I'd like to definitely move with that theme as we go along.
All right, we can consider that as a future agenda item, I would imagine. So love it. And I've captured that augmented reality thing sounds fantastic, Bruno.
It was a
please let us know,
idea I had.
You know, given the lack of activity we have around here, that is a wonderful addition if it comes to fruition. So please, if we can help, let us know.
Yep, will do.
All right, everyone. Anything last? Any reports? Any future agenda items you want to cover before we sign off?
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Bye.
Wearing green. And a body.
Enjoy your food.
Already have.
And some green beer if you're gonna have some, or Guinness or whatever you like.
All right, everyone. I'll talk to you soon. I am now calling this meeting to a close. Thank you so much.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.